Hello, and welcome to Liberation Through Conversation. I wanted to start conversations, especially with older women. I am 58 years old, and I've lived quite an interesting life. Yeah, but these conversations will be based on my life experiences, and I was an Uber driver for a number of years, and I've done over 12,000 rides, and I've had at least out of those 12,000, I would definitely say I've had 11,000 intimate conversations with people. And I didn't realize it until actually I was consulting AI, that in that was building my knowledge about people and where they're at, where I was at. Because I've been through some things. I've been through some things, and I'm sure most of you have. I'm specifically going towards women who are older. I can't relate to the younger generation. They have their own thing, and I'm all for them living their life, but this isn't an invite to anybody else but us. Never have we witnessed anything about an except like what's going on now, right? It's one of the greatest times in history right now, but in it, I find myself questioning a whole lot of things. I thought I had unshakable faith in God, and I am not comfortable to say that I no longer like that because most of me still feels that way. Um, and again, in these conversations, I don't want anybody talking at someone. You're an authority in your life, you know? Um, Go start your own channel, do whatever, but this is my channel and I'm going to share my experiences and I hope they resonate with people. I had these deep conversations. I managed to maintain a 5-star rating, but when the Trump thing came on, dropped to 4.96. I was not happy about that. But, you know, um I'm so past the blaming thing that at least I hit that many 5 stars. But I found it interesting talking to people. I began to really fall in love with humanity. Sometimes it pissed me off. Sometimes people still piss me off. So it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Because in these conversations that I've had, in the state that I'm in right now, given that your faith is in question right now. At least I know I am. You can say what you want. If you don't want to admit what you feel to yourself, it's your right to. But this time is 2026, and never have I felt so uncertain about faith. And largely because we grew up in a time where bad people eventually got theirs. That's what the movies taught us. That's what life taught us. That's what our parents taught us. Don't do bad because bad things happen to you. But honestly, when you consult everything and you look at everything, That's not necessarily the case. I've seen where karma hits people, and the definition of karma that we know it now is you're gonna get yours. Karma doesn't forget an address. He's not, karma's not gonna forget you, and it's not gonna be kind to you, and all this stuff. But now we see all that's going on, and I know life happens, and there is lessons in this, societal lessons, individual lessons, but this is really shaking a lot of people, a lot of people. And even before this time, grown, getting older as a woman is tough. It is really tough because a lot of our identity was based on men and the idea of love and the idea that if I do right, I get right. If I do prosper, I do have a way of, how am I going to say this? Sorry, I got distracted with my neighbor blasting their music right now. Um, things just aren't that. I'm starting to wonder why we were taught so everybody gets theirs and this, that, and the other, and it's like it's not the case. So I'm having conversations because A, I've had a lot of experience. B, you've had a lot of experience. But I don't want this channel to be talking at people. I don't want, so-called life coaches whose mentality is not where you need to be coaching. I want to talk to those people that thought life was supposed to be a certain way because there's really no solid answers to everything. There's really no one stop shop for answers. So we try to strive for patterns like if you do this, then you'll get this, or you do that and you get that because we taught mathematics and it's supposed to add up. But as Taraji P. Henson said, math ain't mathin'. It ain't mathin' at all. So I'm just in a place of wonder. Um, there was a rough time. 2024 was rough. 2025 was rough. Not just because of Trump and his mess, and of course that added a lot to it, but I was homeless for 14 months. Um, Even though I made money and always maintained an, a place to live, an apartment, um, it was so expensive here, and I couldn't grasp my head around why I'm not making it. I just and under you make all these plans and you have all these ideas of life and how you're going to live it, and if I do this and do this and do this, it's going to add up to what I want. And then you get to questioning it, what is it that you really want? But the bigger question is why. And some people don't like facing why. Why do you want it? I can't, every time I try to pinpoint what I want in life now, all I can think about is financial security. And what will financial security bring me? A peace of mind? Well, do rich people seem like they have a peace of mind right now? No, no, not at all. It's not even, now you see them and you're just like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to harm people to be rich, you know? I want to know that I have this, but when do you ever really, really, truly own anything when you really think about it? And I think in this time, when you hit our late 50s or 50 and late 50s on up, you start to realize you spent a lot of time on dumb shit. You know, I don't know why my neighbor, this is the first time my neighbor's ever blasted music. But anyway, it's annoying me. But I sit here and wonder, when is it ever gonna just add up to the what I want? When is it gonna ever just add up to what I want? Yeah, some people are married and they thought marriage was gonna be different. I was married. Oh God, I'm sure I'll be able to talk about it later. But every instance we know in our lives reveal who we are, something about us. And yes, we like to blame or put blame, but blame can only take you so far in life, and then you have to face you. So I'm in that place of facing me. I watch a wonderful psychiatrist on YouTube called, her name is Dr. Tracy Marks, and it's opened my eyes so much to me, my trauma, and things that I've experienced in my life. And I know it it helped me be able to connect to all those people I was able to talk to. And a lot of them revealed a lot of stuff because A, they never see me again. I used to tell them that. Uh, Uber ride, Lyft ride, mainly Uber. Uber rides are the cheapest therapy you're ever gonna have because you'll never see me again, and I'll never see you. And a lot of, I'd say more than most, revealed things they're hurting. But the most that stick out to me is women that have been married for a number of years and men leave them. I see this a lot on TikTok of women wanting to revert back to tradition, trad wives or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, girl, because you're cute now. But when you get older and society shows you exactly how they feel about older women, yeah, you're going to wish you had to listen to why women fought to have rights. But it's like you don't know what you're doing. It's bad enough we had choices and we still were taught you gotta have kids, you gotta have the husband that loves you, gotta have the house, you gotta be financially secure, you gotta do this, this, and this to be considered a good citizen or a good Christian or whatever. And now we're starting to see how we were fed things in order to control society by people that feel like they need to control people. God gave each person their own mind and their own free will. That does not make you in the position to dictate someone else. But there I go back to what I've always been taught. Is it true? And sometimes it's scary to ask that question. It's really scary for me. It's really, really scary for me because I'm a deep thinker. I love wonder about God and mankind and nature, and I live in a nature state. I love nature, but you know, getting older and it's just tired of all the crap and when is it ever going to pay off? Does it ever pay off? And yes, people get online and or people in your daily life always try to portray them as having the perfect thing and they're so lucky and they're so blessed and blah, 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 blah. It's like, girl, I know your story, so just stop. Just stop. It's like everybody has to be in a place that they feel better than the next person instead of uh, instead of always focusing on somebody else's life. What I had struggle to even say what I really want. I really want to be wealthy in a way that I can secure not just me, not just my family, but to make a community impact. That's what I want wealth for. I want people free. I want freedom of mind because we are living in prisons. I was living in a prison in my mind for so long, and now it's finally opening. But it's scary, so scary. It is so incredibly scary to let go of beliefs. Evidence. I think about all of those women I had in my car where they were telling me, I've been married for 13 years, 28 years, 23 years. The most one that was 46 years of marriage, and then she had to start all over at 76. 76. How do you start over at 76? Then I start to question, does love really exist? Are we relying on a feeling? Or I know people say love is a decision. Yeah, you're good. It's a decision of your character. But is that love? I don't know it. I hope, I pray people do know it. I've seen it though. So I know it exists just because I haven't experienced it. Um, Especially when it's a mutual thing. I have a hard time with it. And hearing so many women and seeing so many things that happen, with my mom. I love my dad. I did love my dad, but my dad, he was a man. And when I say that, the definition back then, he was a man, that means he loved women. But my dad loved me. He loved my mom, but he was battling his own demons. They didn't have instruction books. That's what I get mad at people for blaming their parents. I am mad. I am the way I am because of you and this, that. You know what? They didn't ask to be here either. So everybody's trying to learn, okay? So ease up on people, man. And how dare you? You weren't them. And nobody becomes perfect just because they can give birth. We see that evidence all the time. And I wasn't even prepared. And I find out now I'm a commitment phobe. I have a phobia with commitment. I don't like being trapped in stuff I don't like. I can't. The loneliest feeling in the world is to be married and feel lonely because it's like the ultimate trapped feeling. And, our lives are taught you be loyal to that person. And I've seen people where they deeply love each other and they're older. They've been married for many, many, many decades. And I used to process beneficiary benefits for about 10 years and seeing the patterns of when people pass away when they're older and they've been married for a long time and they go within a couple weeks, a month. And some people last for a long time afterwards, but they still love their spouse. I used to want that love. I just can't conceive of it anymore. Um, Eventually with this, I'm going to end it here, but please like and subscribe, please, because it really does help. Um, but eventually I want this to be about conversations. I don't want answers because there really is no answers. But we do need to talk because if we can commune with each other, life feels so much better. And I'm currently coming out of since I was homeless in a car. I lived in a car, so just to let you know. And I felt so safe every night because even when I couldn't pray, I said the prayer we're taught is long. Now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I shall die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. And sometimes that was the only thing I could get out of my mouth. That's the part that makes me believe God is real. Because I was out there by myself in that car and I lucked up on things. I wouldn't say luck up on them, but I was safe. Every single night I was safe. Because I'd be like, okay, God, in your hands. And I would wake up to the sunshine. It was like the best time of it was the hardest time of my life, but it was the best. My soul was free. I was finally getting settled. Sorry for crying, but I was alone with me. And I've always been a loner. That's just how I grew up. Grew up an only child, alone in my bedroom watching TV. That's basically how I grew up. My mom loved me, but she did the best she could, and she was a great mom. She was a great mom. My dad was a good dad to me, but their dynamics together, oh, we'll get into that. That's probably why I'm a commitment phobe, and my view on love is kind of different, but a lot of people have experienced it. Talked with a lot of people that have, but my philosophy in experiencing what I've experienced, people are doing the best they can in the moment that they're in. You can say they could have chose better, they could have did better, but you aren't them, and you are not them in that moment. So I have always, well, have concluded that people are doing the best they can with what they know, even if they're lying. There's something in their life that caused them to have to lie or they feel compelled to lie all this because they don't feel safe and they're trying to control the situation because for some reason they don't feel safe. So I think people are doing the best they can with what they have to work with. And they have to come to a realization, I can do better. I need to do better. And they'll try. But judging them, not going to help. Best people I've ever run across, to tell you the truth, were recovering drug addicts. Yeah, they're the most powerful people. They know how low it can go. They're not sitting somewhere judging how low it can go. They actually lived it. And they cling to faith like nobody's business. And it's the real faith, not the faith I gotta go to church and I gotta spew scriptures and try to control everybody around me. It's not that. They cling to God Himself, and it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. But I don't want to have to go through that to be able to cling. And I know I'm just in a place of uncertainty. But we can say everybody gets theirs, and all the evil people do is gonna hurt them in the end. But honestly, we don't have control over that. Nobody has control over what another person will face. And they may not face anything. As we can see, may not ever face anything they do. So where do we go from there when faith doesn't seem the same anymore? But let me know your comments and I will speak to you on the next one.